The Tesla Model S vs Lamborghini Huracán racing in this thrilling video. The morning air was heavy with tension, the kind that lingers before something monumental. A stillness lay over the old airstrip turned racetrack, broken only by the distant rumble of engines being awoken from slumber. Out here, in the shadow of the mountains and framed by empty skies, two very different beasts prepared for battle. One, quiet and ruthless. The other, loud and unrelenting. On the left, draped in a cloak of midnight black, sat the Tesla Model S Plaid. It was still, its presence almost ghostly. No exhaust burble. No mechanical symphony. Just a machine, sleek and sharp, seemingly waiting to be unshackled. Inside it, the future hummed a tri-motor system with over 1,000 horsepower, ready to deploy torque with an immediacy no combustion engine could rival. It didn't need to make noise to be feared. On the right, parked with unapologetic aggression, glared the Lamborghini Huracán Tecnica. If you like this video so must subscribe, share and hit the bell icon. The sunlight bounced off its verde Selvon's paint like liquid emerald. Carbon accents sharpened its silhouette, while the massive V10 engine behind the driver pulsed like a wild animal locked in a cage. The Lambo didn't whisper like the Tesla, it roared with heritage. You could hear it breathing, snarling, begging to be let loose. Two drivers stood apart from their machines, watching each other. Neither spoke. They didn't need to. This wasn't about words. It was about physics, philosophy, and pride. The Plaid S driver, a quiet, analytical figure dressed in minimal black, was a man of data. He believed in numbers, precision, and pushing the boundaries of technology. For him, this wasn't a race against a car. It was a race against legacy. The world needed to see that silence could be deadly. Across from him, the Huracán S pilot wore a racing suit that wore the colors of Italy. He had oil in his blood, noise in his soul. The Lambo wasn't just a machine, it was a living, breathing creature. He'd grown up watching F1 legends and Valentino Balboni videos. For him, driving was art, not algorithm. The engines, or in Tesla S case, systems, came alive. The Lambo fired up with a growl, its 10-cylinder heart revving in celebration. The Tesla simply activated, displaying its readiness with a dashboard light. It was silent, calculated, deadly. A drone buzzed above, cameras rolled from every angle. This wasn't just a drag race. It was a statement. The flag dropped with a violent snap. The Tesla launched forward. The instant torque punched the asphalt, and within a second, it was already ahead. The Lambo S tires screeched as it found grip, surging with a ferocious cry, chasing the ghost ahead. The Tesla S acceleration was unnatural, more teleportation than propulsion. But the Lambo, once gripped, was relentless. The V10 screamed through the gears, each shift like a gunshot, the engine hurling the car forward with fury and purpose. But the Plaid was gone in the first quarter mile. It had established a brutal lead. No gear shifts. No lag. Just continuous force. The Lambo clawed at the distance, shrinking it slightly as the Tesla S power began to plateau and air resistance took its toll. Still, the damage was done after the first straight. Both cars slowed for the turn, and the course opened up into a technical section of curves and elevation. Here, the dynamics shifted. The Tesla had weighed nearly 5,000 pounds of batteries and tech. But it also had a low center of gravity and dual motor torque vectoring. It sliced through the first left-hand sweeper like a scalpel. The Lamborghini, lighter and mid-engined, danced through the same corner with rhythm and rage. Its steering was alive, its balance perfect through the chicane. The Lambo gained ground. You could see it in the footage, the nose diving into the apex, the rear stepping out ever so slightly, the tires singing in agony. The Tesla remained composed, but it couldn't mimic the drama. The Lambo was alive. The Tesla was a missile on rails as they exited the final corner onto a long back straight. The Lambo was closing. At speed, the Huracan's high revving nature was finally matching the Plaid's electric stamina. The two cars thundered down the strip, one screaming, one silent. For a moment, they were side by side, fury versus silence, history versus progress. The Tesla surged ahead again, slightly. But the Lambo never gave up. The next section took them off the track and onto a closed mountain road section, simulating real-world curves and narrow passes. The elevation change was brutal. The Tesla began to sweat. Its brakes, though massive, weren't built for prolonged abuse. The Huracan was strong, but the Lambo was in its element now. The driver of the Huracan leaned into every corner, downshifting with ferocity, flipping the throttle as flames shot from the exhaust. He felt every vibration, heard every note. The Tesla's pilot, focused and serene, relied on instant torque and chassis stability, pushing his machine with surgical intent. But physics had its limits. On a tight hairpin near the summit, the Lambo overtook. It was spectacular, rear end stepping out, tires clawing for grip, the V10 howling in triumph. The Tesla's driver didn't panic. He recalculated. There was still one more run downhill. As they crested the peak and began their descent, the Tesla came alive again. Gravity was now an ally. The Plaid rocketed down the hill, torque unhindered by traction. The Lambo, dancing on the edge of grip, braked late and turned harder, its ceramic rotors glowing red. They emerged from the final forested section into